So what the skips, creels and crochons have in common. They're all types of willow basket. So today we're going to be taking a look at the beautiful things you can make using trees here in Ireland. So a skip's just a normal basket, I suppose, and then a creel and a crochon in particular is used for holding turf and other large items that would need kind of really good protection from the elements. So willow could also be used for creating fences. It roots really well, so you just stick it in the ground, a little rod of willow, a couple of feet apart, and in a couple of years you'll have a nice fence that you can weave together. So that's handy. So willow must be harvested when the sap is down in winter, because that's when it's kind of least active and most available for use in wood. So if the sap is high in the plant, it means it's going to be a higher moisture content, it's going to take longer to cure. So most woods will need seasoning before you use them. This also applies to basket making materials. So other basket making materials are the bast of the tree. So between the outer bark and the inner part of the tree is the bast. Oak has a very tight grain, and for that reason it's selected for its beauty in wood alongside its durability, and particularly just being a good wood to use for crafting, because it's really strong and it's very thick as well, so you can get good straight long thick planks off it. Pine is another one that was grown for that purpose, such as pole pines, and you'd use them for shipbuilding in particular. So for oak as well, used for shipbuilding. A lot of trees were used for shipbuilding here in Ireland, particularly during militaristic times of colonialism and expansion. You can guess that, but also way back into the ancient times. So if you look at currachs, they're a very ancient type of boat used from a wooden base or a willow rod base, if that's all you have available, and it would be wrapped with animal skin or tar or anything you could use to waterproof the outside. So in Wales, they had a very similar structure as well, and you'll find it kind of all throughout the Celtic peoples. So boat making, ship making, of course, is huge for wood, since so many ship making tools are made from wood as well. So it's obviously very important there. And oak as well, because of its good grade and its good grain and durability, it also has a high tannin content, which contributes a lot to why people choose it. So if you want to touch on the tannin content, it's also good for sticking your teeth and things like that. So anything you need to immediately bind some proteins in a woodcraft setting, that's what people would have been doing back in the day. But hey, today we have modern medicine, but it's good to know. So other fabulous trees are ash, which as we know are used in hurley making here in Ireland. So unlike other sports where, say, the football might be the same size for everybody, fair game, a hurley, if you're a very large gentleman, you're going to have a larger hurley. So the ash is a great tree for craftsmen who were making their own hurleys and their own shillelaghs and sticks from blackthorn back in the day as well. It was often carpenters who played well in sports that required these tools. I suppose that's just how nature works. It has a very high resistance to decay, and a tree that's highly associated with decay is yew. So yew does have various crafting purposes, particularly in tool making, but since it's such a dangerous tree to be around, you're recommended to not work with it. So even just inhaling the sawdust can be highly, highly irritating. Eating any part of the tree will be very toxic to you. So that's not good. So it's often planted in graveyards, sites of remembrance, and general spooky realms. It was also particularly used for musical instruments, and over in Wales as well, it was very often used in bow making. We did do that as well here, but it was very much a Welsh tradition over there to use yew. Thistle is a great tree. This is used in wattle and daub very famously from prehistoric times, but it's also used in kind of semi-modern day and recent sugan, which is a type of straw rope, and you would use the hazel as well to make like sugan chairs and things like that. So it's a fabulous skill that I myself partake in. So beech isn't actually a native tree, but it's very naturalised here, very famous and really helpful to the Irish environment. So beech was mostly used for furniture making and things like that. It has beautiful wood, it's very reliable, and also it was used for things like chopping boards, rolling pins and spoons, where you wouldn't want to soak up a taste or impart a taste with the wood. So you wouldn't want to eat with a pine spoon anyway, but if you did, it would definitely change the flavour of the food. Boulder is mostly used in dye making and general kind of crafts for imparting colour, and it's also used for smoking flavourful foods. So it's a wonderful wood to use in smoking in particular, and it's one that gets overlooked on lists like these all the time. That's pine is planted widely around Ireland, and it's mostly used for anywhere where you need really reliable, consistent wood across the trees. So construction and industrial use these days is the main one. Back in the day, it was planted in mass amounts for smelting and things like that during militaristic times. blackthorn, of course, we all know and love. That's obviously used for shillelaghs, walking sticks, beautiful things like that, but it has a very long history for use in hedging, landscaping, and controlling and keeping animals safe as well. So if you don't want an animal to come into an area, or you don't want it to go into a dangerous area as well. So it's really, really good plant in that way, and it's lots of major ecological functions like most other trees, but a little bit more so since it doesn't get cut down like the hawthorn, which means that the creatures don't get their eggs chopped off the tree during the prime time of year or something. So it's definitely a good one to be aware of in your local area. Elder tree, it's my favourite tree. Here's one behind me there. This is a lovely tree. So it has mostly uses in kind of general fine crafts. So think of the elder wand, beautiful shiny silver wood. So elder is used medicinally, of course. You get the aqua de sambuki, I think it's pronounced, which is like elder water made from the flowers that historically was found in animal nearby. That was historically found in women's dressers. So a very rich man made this for his wife and things like that. Now, mostly it was women made it for themselves, but it could be used as a love token back in the day, boys. Remember that? So it has beautiful, of course, blooming white blossoms. This isn't an identification video. I won't pontificate about my favourite tree. But so many uses, edibility-wise, like the sloe as well, where you need to cook the fruits to make them very nice. And the sloe and the blackthorn and the elder are very much associated with each other as symbols of death and protection. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to McCaffrey Crafts for more, and definitely go to McCaffreycrafts.com to support Irish tree heritage directly.